Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Welcome to this week's Z to A podcast with me, Jules, and Mark from the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox.
Hello, everybody.
Now, this is where we pick a letter and a topic each week and discuss how you can use our tools or tips to improve your own personal development and life. So what is this week's letter?
Well, this week's letter we have is O for opening your mind. And we're going to talk about opening your mind to new opportunities that might come your way.
Fantastic. But what else do we have this week?
So we talk about welcoming new opportunities, but we also like to welcome our guest.
So this week we are absolutely delighted to welcome back the one, the only, the fabulous Sally Wood.
I'll open the door for you.
Hello, thank you for opening the door and opening the opportunity for me to join you on this podcast.
So it's been a little while since you've been on the podcast, because Jules and I have been doing quite a lot of podcasts where it's just been the two of us. So have you come across any amazing opportunities or seen anybody else open the door to amazing opportunities?
I have. As we all know, it's been A-level and GCSE results. So my nephew Tom has got his A-level results and is off to university to study IT. So he's hoping that's going to open the door to some interesting opportunities to meet new people, live in a different place, learn some new skills, and potentially open the door to some career options for him. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, there's been some quite good success stories for people sitting their GCSEs and getting their A-level results lately as well. So congratulations. We've said that
absolutely
in the last few episodes. Congratulations to everybody that's achieved the grades that they wanted. Brilliant.
Last week, we were chatting about focusing on your future. And in reality, this is like a carry on from that and about opening your mind to new opportunities. Because now that period of exams, that's over. That's done for a lot of people. And that's fantastic. So it's that next step, isn't it? But here's a question for us to chat about. How do you recognize a new opportunity? What makes you know that it's an opportunity that's possibly for you?
I think one of the ways you know is the way it makes you feel, isn't it? You feel different, you feel excited about something. I mean, you two wrote a book together and that was a really amazing opportunity for you. But how did you know that was right for you?
Particularly the What the Hell Just Happened book. That was an idea that came into my head. And I remember thinking, gosh, that would be really, really good. But I think with anything that's an opportunity for you or something that's opening for you, a new challenge, if it keeps you awake, if it sparks that idea and it gives you that excitement, you know that it's something that you have to do. And if it's something that won't go away and is nagging in your brain, and that's what that book was doing to me. And actually, one night, it was about 4:00 in the morning. It kept me awake that long that I came downstairs and started making notes.
Wow.
I thought, I have to do this. It just has to be done.
Yeah, it's that excitement level, isn't it? You just can't stop thinking about it. And if it won't go out of your mind, then you need to do something about it.
What do you think stops people from taking those opportunities? Why do you think people don't get up and start writing and take action?
I think sometimes it's that fear, isn't it? Because quite often when you come in across something that's new, it is new. So therefore it's the unknown, isn't it? And that's what will hold people back. But this is something else that I think when you're looking at a new experience or going to do something, if it fits with your core values, then surely it must be the right thing to do, or at least worth exploring.
So I've got a really good quote here from the great Richard Branson, and it's actually in our book, Don't Get Your Neck Tattooed, in the chapter, Always Open Your Mind. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure if you can do it, then say yes and learn how to do it later. And that might be why people stop, because they're a little bit worried and the imposter syndrome kicks in. But that's probably where the bravery has to come in and say, yeah, let's do this. Let's go for that opportunity. Yeah. Don't care how I'm going to do it. Don't care whether I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to get started.
That fear it's adrenaline, isn't it? And it often comes because something's really important to you. And if it wasn't important to you, you wouldn't feel those nerves around it. You wouldn't feel that apprehension because it's a big step and a big change. So it's clearly something that means a lot to you.
Yeah, that's what you're saying about the core values, isn't it?
It's your core values. But I think as well, if it's providing you with that energy, then it's got to be something that's going to be good. If it's making you wake up earlier, if it's making you energized and thinking, oh, I really want to do this, I'm not quite sure how I can do it, just say yes and learn how to do it.
So, yeah, we've talked a lot about GCSE and A-level results as well. In last week's episode, we mentioned what to do if people don't get the grades. Now, people always get fixated on this educational journey where you do GCSEs and A-levels and university, and then you're successful and get this amazing career. We know it's not true because Jules and I didn't follow that route. We certainly didn't even get past the GCSE type stage because our grades didn't go well. But then a lot of people get really caught up on this thinking, well, I didn't get the grades I wanted. That's it. My opportunities are over. And I just want to really stress to people that is not true because you could go all the way through university and still not get what you want. So we need to look at ways of how to create an opportunity. Do you know of anybody, have you come across anybody that didn't do so well? Apart from us, of course.
I do. Do you know what? Just this morning, I had coffee with a lady who is director in a professional services firm. She's very well thought of. And she said to me, all this talk about GCSEs, she messed her GCSEs up when she was at school. She didn't do very well at all. She wasn't academic, but she worked hard in her job. She went to college. She realized that actually she did have real skills. She built her experience up from doing her job, and she's now director in a firm. She's really well thought of. She's got a big team of people. She's got a professional qualification and letters after her name, but she messed her GCSEs up and thought maybe her career was over. But she said that her mum had actually said to her, why don't you just get a job and try a few things and find something that you like and that you enjoy? And I think that is such a good positive message. And I'm actually going to take that and tell that to another lady I was talking to yesterday, whose daughter actually did okay in her GCSEs, but got into such a state when she was on the way to school that she had to stop the car and let her out because she was physically sick, because she'd got herself into such a state. And it's really not worth it, is it? Because it's that moment in time, and when you're doing your GCSEs and you're waiting in the school hall to get that envelope, it probably feels like the end of the world and the only thing that matters. But do you know what? Nobody asked me what my results were. Nobody asked me what I got in my A-levels. Nobody asked me what degree grade I got. Actually, people are more interested in what I've done as a career history.
That's a very, very good point. And it's very difficult, obviously for people just leaving education. They haven't got bags of experience. But that's one of the things that we try and teach young people, is to look outside that box of, it isn't just the exam results, it's other things where you can get these life skills and prove that you are able to do that opportunity. You have got those skills from doing something else, like volunteering, all sorts of different things. And again, my youngest son, Russell, like me, didn't come out of school with any qualifications. The school system, the school way was not his way. However, he managed to get a job doing what he really loved, which was doing up cars, painting them. And then eventually, when the time was right for him, he joined the army, and he's now so successful and has just had another promotion through the summer. And it's just incredible what he's managed to do without those GCSEs. Unlike your friend and other people, he's took qualifications since then because they're ones that he's wanted to do, and it's relevant to what his career is. So,
very proud.
I think there's so much pressure on young people to make decisions at a young age. And quite often you're not ready for them. I mean, even I remember having to choose my options felt incredibly stressful to me, because I thought, what if I choose the wrong thing? But what you don't often get told is that life doesn't always go in a straight line. You go from A to Q to B to W to O. You might throw in a few podcast letters on the way, but everything just doesn't go in a straight line. And that's fine. And to go back on yourself, go in a different direction, actually makes you more rounded and interesting as a person.
and gives you those life skills, which are more important than a piece of paper saying that you could remember some facts on a particular day.
Absolutely.
I've got another bit from our book here in the Open Your Mind chapter, and it says, sometimes in the moments of decision is when your destiny is shaped. And it talks a little bit about how people slam the door very, very quickly. Now, we're talking a lot about teenagers, but we hear a lot of adults say this as well. And I think sometimes the older you get, the more sometimes people can say that. So one phrase people say is, oh, it's too hard, I can't do that. Or I haven't got the time, I'm far too busy, I haven't got the skills or the confidence. Or even the self-comparison bit where sometimes they say, yeah, a friend of mine tried that and it didn't work for them, so I can't do that. Or the other way around is, my friend's really good at that, I can never be as good as them. So the imposter syndrome kicks in and shuts the door and slams it in their face. And I think that's where we sometimes fall down and see people suffer and fail because they won't open that door. They just see they're not going to work.
I think another thing that's really important to remember as well is whatever you're doing in life, most of the time you're not doing it on your own. So you might not be skilled in one area, but there will be other people you can ask for help or work with. So if you're in a workplace, not everybody has the same set of skills. Everybody has different skills, different experience, different attitudes, different knowledge. And if you work together and collaborate with different people, you can benefit from each other's skills, or you can share problems, share ideas and solve them together.
We're talking about opening your mind and welcoming new opportunities. We've said in previous podcasts that we began our journey of owning our own business as Mad for Life, and then we've evolved, haven't we, to the Future Toolbox, and then we've created the Future Toolbox CIC. And from that now, we are just starting a brand new venture, brand new opportunity called Brain or Shine, which is to do with people living with a brain injury, particularly people that are middle to high functioning like Mark is, and the difficulty that causes him and the family and friends around the person with that brain injury. So we're just starting that. And it's the excitement of this is great, but it's an idea that we had a little while back, but we've had to wait for the right time for us to sort of launch this. And it just feels now really is the right time. And that's what we were talking about earlier, that how do you recognize when that opportunity, that new opportunity is for you? And when it gives you that excitement, that buzz, that energy, there's the ideas, that spark, isn't it? And that's really where we are. And it's totally exciting at the moment.
And it also shows that out of what could be perceived as adversity, so something that you wouldn't ever wish to have happened, i.e. a brain injury, actually you've turned that into a positive, turned it into the opportunity to create something that's going to help other people, and it's going to give you an enormous amount of a sense of achievement, a sense of satisfaction of having made a difference. And that was the whole point of setting up the Community Interest Company, and this is it coming into fruition and coming into reality.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, because when we launched the Facebook page the other week, that was our first sort of soft launch social media. And people started joining it. And then all of a sudden people started posting stuff about their brain injuries. And I was seeing conversations go on between people and thinking, oh my goodness, we're responsible for these people now. This means we've got to do this, we've got to do that. But after a while, you realise that those people are supporting each other. So it hasn't got to be Mark and Jules supports them all. It's going to be, let's link these people together and create a safe environment, a safe space.
Yeah, it's creating a new community for these families, and the feedback that we've got so far is phenomenal in that they want this. So it's obviously something that is needed. We've worked that out, and it's just an amazing new opportunity for us to be able to help other people.
I bet at first it felt like you were hosting a party where nobody knew each other, and you were worrying about everybody, making sure everybody got a drink, making sure everybody had got somebody to talk to. And now they're all happily chatting away, talking to each other, sharing their experiences, and you don't feel quite so. You can relax a little bit and let those relationships develop between people, and let people share and offer support to one another.
Yeah, that's it. They're sharing their stories and their experiences. I think that lived experience is vital when dealing with something that is a little bit scary, a little bit out of your norm, your comfort zone, out of the box. And in any walk of life, whatever you're doing, having that shared lived experience is a good thing, such a good thing.
So talking of supporting people, we actually have the theme this month of a deep dive into positivity, which has all been around celebration, being passionate about what you're doing. We had S for Smile as well. And then last week, focusing on your future. In the previous podcast, we've talked a little bit about support within business and support within your networks, which obviously we name drop you quite a few times in it as well, Sally.
Thank you very much.
One of the biggest things that we talked about was finding the things that you're maybe not so good at and finding somebody who's better at that than you and using their experience. You with writing funding bids, grant applications, and doing all the sort of form filling, taxi type stuff that we're not great at, but also building the relationships with those people. And obviously that's what you do quite a lot within your own business, is about supporting and helping so many people and helping them grow. And I think that's a real key here to looking at those new opportunities and finding how you can help people.
One connection you make leads to another as well. So you meet somebody, you help them out, they'll meet somebody else who's looking for support, and quite often I might be the right person. So that word of mouth and that network and building your own support community is really, really important. But likewise, I have people I've worked with before, and I'll quite often match them up to people I know need their support. I try and it's like being a Cilla Black of business sometimes, where you're doing a little bit of matchmaking and finding people who are right for each other and putting them together. And that's a bit of a skill, but it's really satisfying when people who you've worked with then go off and work with each other. And I know other people have done that for me. You've done that for me as well. I've done that for you. And it's great, isn't it, when you can just share the opportunities between your network and put people together.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. And that is worth more than any qualification on a piece of paper. So if you're a young person, you're sitting there and saying, who on earth's Cilla Black? Just look her up. She was a lovely person. But the second thing is really to look at your network and start building that as soon as possible and thinking, I've got this goal, I've got this vision, I've got this opportunity. It's really exciting me. It's keeping me awake at night. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to take Richard Branson's advice and say, I'm going to go for that. Who can help me? That's the next question. Who can help me? Who can I get on board to help me to achieve this goal?
This is brilliantly leading us into our theme for September, which is about embracing new beginnings. But I'm going to leave you with a beautiful saying that we found for this podcast, that is, opportunities are like sunrises. If you wait too long, you miss them. So if you've got an opportunity that has come your way, don't ignore it, because if you wait too long, you might miss it.
I love that quote.
It's great, isn't it?
That's a lovely quote.
Brilliant.
Don't kick yourself in years to come and think, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
That could be another quote. Don't kick yourself in years to come.
Don't kick yourself at all because it hurt. But yeah, I mean, there's another quote about you don't regret what you did, but you regret the things you didn't do. And that's been a real philosophy of mine in life. If somebody offers you an opportunity, grab it, because it might not be around for much longer.
Too right. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you if they want your help?
You can find the opportunity to talk to me by looking for me on LinkedIn. So if you look for Sally Wood Consultancy, I'm the one with the curly hair, the smiley face and the glasses. So yeah, check me out and get in touch.
Excellent. And if you want to find out more about the Future Toolbox, we've got loads of tools on our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk. We're also on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's loads and loads of videos on there that you can watch. You can also find us on LinkedIn, because we are
everywhere.
And we really, really look forward to you joining us again next week for a brand new theme of September, embracing new beginnings. Sally, thanks for coming along again.
Thanks, Sally.
Thank you for inviting me. And if people can't find me, I'm sure I'll be back.
I'm sure you will. Thank you, listeners. Catch you all next week.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.